So if you're planning to train in internal medicine in the NHS, you'll have to sit the MRCP Part 1. It's a one-day exam which has 2 3-hourly sets of 100 multiple choice questions each. And you could either sit this exam in an exam hall or you can even give it online if you're in the UK. There are only two ways that you can prepare for the exam. It's either Passmedicine or it's Pastest. So for the MRCP Part 1, Passmedicine costs £35 for a 4-month subscription, and it gives you about 4,500 multiple choice questions, and of course a performance tracker, and also a textbook which has key concepts in it. On the other hand, you've got Pastest, which I feel has a lot more to offer than Passmedicine. Of course, in this case, you get a question bank of about 5,000 MCQs, and I feel like the questions here have a higher difficulty level than Passmedicine, and I can say that after having gone through both question banks. Just as an example, we can have a look at one of the questions here. You can see some highlighting in the questions, and you actually get an option to either show or hide clues, and I found it quite useful when I was going through the question bank. And apart from that, you've got some mock exams, and one that I found really useful, past papers. So as you can see, I went through a few of the past papers from my preparation, and I was getting just about the passing mark, which was really very reassuring, especially when I started doing the past papers within 2 weeks before the exam. It just made me realize that I've given myself a chance to pass. And then you've got Isaac here, which is a recommendation engine. So what it does is it selects the questions according to your strengths and weaknesses. Then on the other side here, you've got some videos and podcasts. To be fair, these videos and podcasts weren't really helpful because they didn't add much value in terms of helping you with the actual exam itself. And I don't really think it needs to be here, I'll be honest. And finally, right at the end, you've got something that's fairly new called microlearning, which uses the help of flashcards and videos for each topic. But it's still a work in progress, so you can't expect to find flashcards for every topic yet. And then you also get a performance tracker just like the one in Passmedicine. I think my main issue with Pastest was the price. So for a 4-month subscription, it cost £120, which is about £50 too expensive. Other than that, I think the question bank was really good. The past papers are super useful. With regards to my own exam, I had the exam in the middle of May and I started studying in February. So I had about 3.5 months. The only issue here was that I had to give the exam during my acute medicine rota, which is a very bad idea. But anyway, I started with Passmedicine and my plan was to go through the whole question bank at least 3 times, which I couldn't. So I stopped at around the 3,800 question mark. And then I had to switch over to Pastest. In hindsight, I should have switched to Pastest a lot earlier than 2 weeks. I probably should have switched at 2 months. But anyways, because I started Pastest when I only had 2 weeks left, I only really just went through the past papers. And then there was another thing that I added into the mix, and this was just a few days before the exam. I attempted the free sample questions on the MRCP Part 1 website. I mean, if you're getting free sample questions, then why not, right? And that was it, I think. I have to admit, I didn't pass by a lot, but I'm glad that it's over. I didn't really like that exam. It was just a lot of those if you know, you know sort of questions. I didn't feel like there was a lot of problem solving or critical thinking going on in there. But that's just the way it is. And a few days after I gave the exam, I was just thinking, why did I just pay like £440 just to give an exam in my own room, on my own computer, using my own internet connection? But again, that's just how the way it is. So if I had to choose between Passmedicine and Pastest, I would go for Pastest. But I do realize that if you're a doctor in the NHS, you just hate the word change. And that's why you would just want to keep things as they are and just use Passmedicine. and go over it like 3 or 4 times again and again. But that's up to you. I'm not saying that it's not doable, I'm sure it is. But just make sure that you're making your own notes as you go. So there you have it. That was my MRCP part 1, done and dusted. I hope you have a good time with the exam. I hope that first time's a lucky charm. And if you got any questions about the exam, let me know in the comment section below and I'll answer them as soon as I see them.